Glossary. Prize. Butterfly. Project. A project is a specific finite activity that produces an observable and measurable result under certain preset requirements. Interesting. Something which keeps your attention because it is exciting. In this chapter, there is a person whose sign name is this. The chapter, The Making of a Scientist, is a story about the famous scientist Richard Ebright. Richie would always ask his mother about the things present in his surroundings. He was a very curious child. He would listen to his mother very attentively and learned so many things. When he was 2 years old, he was very fond of collecting butterflies. He would catch butterflies and put it into a jar. And he had already collected all the 25 species found near his hometown. He thought it to be an end of butterfly collection. However, his mother knew that this was not the end. There is more to know about butterflies. She then went to a bookstore and bought a book for her son named The Travels of Monarch X. She gave that book to her son. After getting that book, Richie was so excited. The book was about butterflies. He started reading it, and this book fascinated him. After reading that book, he got detailed knowledge and clarity about the life of butterflies. Then, in the 7th grade, he participated in a county science fair. It is a fair in which students participate to display their experiments and different science projects. He attended that fair for the first time. To display in the fair as his project, he had slides of frog tissues which he showed under a microscope. Similarly, there were different projects displayed by the students. When the judges came to examine the projects, one by one, all the students were explaining their projects with experiments. And when they came to Richard, he showed them slides of frog tissues. However, his project did not make an impression on the judges. At last, when the result announced, he lost. He was disappointed with his result. Then he realized that to win, he needed to do real experiments and not just make neat and clean models. Already, the competitive spirit that drives Richard Ebright was appearing. He then contacted Dr. Urquhart, who was a prominent scientist at the University of Toronto, to ask him for ideas to make projects and different experiments. He agreed to help him. Whenever in doubt, Richard would write to him, and he would receive a lot of suggestions for his experiments from that doctor. Those kept Ebright busy all through high school. He worked hard and learned many new things about projects and experiments. Then he again participated in the next year's science fair. He chose the project of looking at the viral disease. He thought that the reason for this could be a beetle, so he started raising caterpillars in the presence of beetles, but could not get any results. He then decided to display his trial experiment at the county science fair. The judges came, and one after one, they were looking at different projects. When they came to Richard, he explained his experiment in a detailed manner, and the judges were very impressed with his presentation. At last, his project won a prize, which made him very happy. Next year, again he participated in the same fair. There were different projects displayed by the students. This time, his project was about butterfly. And what are its functions? He displayed his project very effectively and once again he impressed the judges. This time also he won the prize. He was so glad. He understood that it is the result of all his hard work. Then he started his research as to the purpose of the 12 golden spots on the back of a monarch pupa. Everybody believed that it was just a design, but Richard did not believe it. He discussed about this with Dr. Urquhart. He then guided Richard and shared his views on it. Then after research, Ebright found that the gold spots were responsible for releasing a hormone that was necessary for its growth. Let me give you an example. To transform into an adult butterfly, they go through many stages. These changes take place through the hormones present in the caterpillar. The caterpillar or larva absorbs water from the leaves they eat. When the caterpillar is grown plumper and longer through a series of molds in which it sheds its skin, then turns into chrysalis, which hangs upside down from a leaf or twig. Within its protective casing, the caterpillar radically transforms its body and eventually it emerges as a butterfly or a moth. One day, while looking at the X-ray photos of the chemical structure of cells, he solved one of the biggest puzzles of life. Those photos provided him with the answer that how the cell can read the blueprint of its DNA. DNA is the substance in the nucleus of a cell that controls heredity. So DNA plays a major role in the life cycle of a butterfly. It was a biggest breakthrough and was published in magazines. Day by day, Richard became expert in the field of science through his many experiences and hard work. He also had many other interests, and he also admired his social studies teacher, who would teach him economics, history, geography, and civics. He was the one who used to give him new ideas. He was very dedicated to his studies. He became a champion debater and public speaker. He gained knowledge and improved his skills through his hard work. Richard Ebright was competitive, but not in a bad sense. He was not interested in winning for winning's sake or winning to get a prize, but because he was a man who always worked with dedication. He wanted to be the best at whatever he used to do. His competitiveness did not stem from the need to win. He just believed in hard work. It is shown in this chapter that Richard Ebright got into the world of science because of the encouragement of his mother. She encouraged his interest in learning and bought him the book named The Travels of Monarch X, which aroused his curiosity in the field of science. She played a big role in making him what he was. Similarly, behind the success and development of every child, there are parents who always support and encourage them to develop in their fields. Now, I'll give some questions to you students to discuss in class. If you have any doubts, then you can ask your teacher. Questions. Question 1. In this chapter, what was the name of the scientist? Question 2. What was the name of the book which Richard's mother bought for him? Question 3. Why did Richard fail in the competition of County Science Fair?